Hey, welcome in. Well, you may have heard that Jack Dorsey has resigned as Twitter chief executive. Now, don't worry, just because he's leaving Twitter, it doesn't mean that he doesn't still have ways to suppress voices he doesn't like. He's still got Square, and I'm sure a million other little companies that will start determining what you can say or see in the world. And obviously, this will leave time for new things. I think that he's going to buy an entire city and then be homeless in it. And call it Big Rock Candy Mountain, where the microdoses grow on trees. And I wish him well with that, if that's what he wants to do. I mean, it's just speculation at this point. But on the subject of Twitter, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, well, Dorsey, he's the guy who banned a sitting president. Good. It's good that he's gone. Yeah, hold on. Just wait until you see who's replacing him. And I think a lot of people thought this was probably going to be a good thing for Twitter because as you see, there was a spike here with the stock price, which then, for some reason, came right back down again. That's interesting. What happened there? Well, it turns out the guy who's coming in to replace him, Parag Agrawal, has said some things in the past that have led to perhaps a loss of confidence in him. For instance, he suggested that the company should focus less on free speech. So the social media company where people go to speak should focus less on people being able to speak freely on it. So he was asked in an interview with that Technology Review how Twitter balances its efforts to combat misinformation with wanting to protect free speech as a core value. And it turns out, spoiler alert, it's not a core value. Quote, "Our role is not to be bound by the First Amendment, but our role is to serve a healthy public conversation, and our moves are reflective of things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation," in his opinion. And he's been with Twitter since 2011, so he's had a lot of time to think about this. Quote, "The kinds of things that we do about this is focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how the times have changed." So that's what you want to hear from the CEO of a social media company, that they're thinking less about free speech, but about how the times have changed. And I think we can translate that to, I don't care about free speech, everybody has to agree with me, or they're gone. So this is a guy who's just saying what he thinks. He's not for free speech. It is not a core value. He doesn't respect the First Amendment. He wants a healthier public conversation, and of course, he'll be the one deciding what's healthy. You're just a stupid pleb. You have no idea. But fortunately for you, there's this guy, because he knows. Just trust him. Anyway, he continues, "One of the changes today that we see is speech is easy on the internet." Well, you can't have that. You can't have speech being easy. Not if you disagree with him. That should be hard. It should be hard to disagree with him, because it's not healthy to disagree with him, right? And we know that because he told us that. Quote, "Most people can speak. Where our role is particularly emphasized is who can be heard." None of this is terrible. None of this is terrible. This is all just great. And Twitter's role is, quote, "moving towards how we recommend content, and that sort of is a struggle that we're working through in terms of how to make these recommendation systems that we're building. How we direct people's attention is leading to a healthy public conversation that is most participatory." And you get a healthy public conversation that is most participatory by not having free speech as a core value, of course, and him deciding what's healthy and what's not. These are the euphemisms that we've gotten so used to. Healthy. And conversation. When they mean conversation, they mean shut up and do as you're told. It means we've already decided the moral parameters, and you must conform to that. We will talk to you as long as you pretend that everything we say is true, that everything we assert about anything is true. When we tell you that pancakes are white supremacy, we'll have a conversation with you as long as you agree. So we can have a conversation, just has to be about how right I am and how bad you are. But in any case, you can see how initial optimism would immediately disappear when these sorts of things come to light, because what this really means is excluding users. You know, the thing that it gets its value from. Here's another tweet. This is from 2010. I don't really like to go back super far in people's social media feeds, but this guy is taking over one of the biggest forums for speech in the world. So I do think it's relevant. He said, if they are not going to make a distinction between Muslims and extremists, then why should I distinguish between white people and racists? Well, okay, genius, it's taking over Twitter. Let me explain it to you. The West has been at great pains to make a distinction between Muslims and extremists. And unless you're in a far-left bubble, you would know that. That is why you should distinguish between white people and racists. That is, unless you're in a delusional left-wing fantasy world. I mean, I don't know if there's any tweets about a supremacist hiding his car keys, or maybe he saw a cloud that looked like Ava Braun and somebody has to do something. But I mean, this isn't a good sign, is it? It's not a good sign for Twitter. Anyway, join me on Minds. Minds is a great platform. I mean, you're not going to get banned for stating facts that everybody knows are true, or shadow banned, or any of that nonsense. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.